The Texas gerrymandering case that a three-judge panel today threw out. And what's going on with that? That's really quite interesting because this Supreme Court said, and I don't remember the year off the top of my head, and I should, that it could not interfere with partisan gerrymandering, which, by the way, in my opinion, and from my knowledge of American history, is sorry, really sorry, because I don't use profanity in public, but is bullshit. Anyway, they have said they can't touch partisan gerrymandering, but they still have the right to step in and stop racial gerrymandering. So if you remember when the Texas legislature put through its measure to redistrict the state in the middle of the cycle, which is extraordinarily uncommon. What they kept saying is, this is partisan. This is partisan. It has nothing to do with race. This is partisan. Well, this three-member panel, by a vote of 2-1, said, "Oh, come on, this is a racial gerrymander." And the person who wrote the opinion was actually a Trump appointee, I believe. At least he has commented widely on it, joined by an Obama appointee. The third person who did not object to the redistricting was a Reagan appointee. Anyway, it will now automatically go to the Supreme Court. And it's not clear what the Supreme Court will do, because what the judges said is, this is a racial gerrymander, and you can't do it. We're going to toss it out. It will go to the Supreme Court, where there are many things the Supreme Court could do, including simply put a stay on it and drag their heels. So this new district map is the one they use in 2026, which has happened before. That's actually one of the key reasons that we have a majority in a Democratic majority, had a Democratic Republican majority in the House of Representatives in I think it was 2024, is because the Supreme Court delayed on getting rid of what was found to be an illegal gerrymander. Anyway, they could do that. There is the issue coming up that we have an election next year, and the courts are very reluctant to mess with maps right before an election because they think that's unfair. So it's possible that the Supreme Court will simply let this languish. They may step in. We don't know what will happen with that, but it's really interesting because it does not affect Proposition 50 in California, where the voters in California just said, we want, if you're going to redistrict, we're going to redistrict too, and give an advantage to Democrats in those districts until the year 2030. Theirs was not a permanent gerrymander; it was a brief gerrymander, and it too was explicitly partisan. So, the two don't affect each other, and it is my gut sense, which has nothing to do with this really, but it is my gut sense that this really naked attempt to redistrict our votes for the benefit of politicians is backfiring. That American voters are like, forget this. We would actually like to be able to have districts that are not sewn up for one party or the other. The number of districts in this country that are actually contested districts where a member of either party could win is extraordinarily small. I want to say it's like 27 or 34, something really stupidly low like that. And I think you can see this in part by what's just happened in Indiana, where Trump and the governor of Indiana, Mike Braun, have been pushing really, really hard for a Republican gerrymander to take away the 2 Democratic seats out of the 9 seats that are in Indiana. And the Indiana legislature, it's a supermajority in the Indiana legislature for the Republicans. And the Indiana legislature said, no, we're not going to do it. The people just are furious. We are not going to do this. And I think people are paying attention. We do know, by the way, that neither Republicans nor Democrats like gerrymandering. It is unpopular across the political spectrum.